Welcome back. Well, losing a loved one can be very difficult. So we have Becky Lamaka and Neil O'Connor here, who are from O'Connor Mortuary, who are here to help us through that difficult time. Thank you for both being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Now, I know it's been a while since you've been on, so give us an idea, a little background on O'Connor Mortuary.
Sure. Well, I'm a fourth generation funeral director, so our family has owned the business since 1898, which is 120 years.
Wow.
It started in Los Angeles. The parent company was Cunningham and O'Connor, so that was my great-grandfather started. And then my father had a vision to move the company in the early 70s, so he started the O'Connor Mortuary off Alicia Parkway in 1975.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Why did he want to move it?
You know, I think he saw opportunity and a change in environment in LA.
Okay.
So, and quite frankly, he's his own man, so partnership was not for him anymore.
Got it. So we made a good choice,
He
because
made a great
obviously
choice,
you're
right.
still around and everything's going well.
Right.
Well, good. Well, what's the premise of O'Connor Mortuary? I mean, it's a tough subject. So how do you talk about it, and what are some of the things that you have to go through with some of your clients?
Well, the key just as life is connecting with people and genuinely showing care for them, compassion, empathy, and be able to guide them. There's a lot of misinformation related to funeral service. Our goal and desire is to help people heal at the end of the day. Is really, we've all experienced death, different times, different places, different relationships. So that path of grief can be different for you, to me. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. There's so many different faith traditions, ethnic backgrounds in Orange County, which is a beautiful place to be. So we are experts at end of life and ceremonies and rituals. So it really is an honor to be able to help people. And for some people, it can be a transformation. It can be a healing. Some families have been split apart in many different capacities. It could be relationships that are dysfunctional that start to heal again. Or sometimes they keep fracturing. So we get to see sometimes beautiful moments, tragic moments, and ideally, once again, we're trying to help people heal.
Okay, all right. Well, Becky, tell me a little bit about some of those healing ceremonies and through the grief process. It's called the gift of ceremony. What does that mean?
Yes, well, we really want to help people understand. So many times families come to us, they're devastated. It's the worst moment of their lives, and of course we all want to get over it, right?
Right.
And unfortunately with grief, it's something that we never truly get over. And people think by avoiding doing something, or by not doing anything, if I just avoid this, if I pretend this isn't happening, if I choose to do nothing, then this is actually going to help me, and I'm going to be able to move on. And what we know to be true through research is that doing something is really what is, as Neil said, is very healing.
Right. Okay.
So how do we help people create ceremony, ritual that will be healing and meaningful for them to start them on their grief journey?
And I would imagine that you mentioned diversity, right? So there's different religious backgrounds and there's different ethnicities. So you would have to know a lot about every different background.
We do, and we really pride ourselves on having a team who really understands our community, the different cultures in our community, and the different faiths in our community. So we're able to, and it's very comforting to walk in and you are Zoroastrian or you are Buddhist, and we understand what your rituals are. And so that's comforting. Gosh, I know I don't have to explain this all over again to somebody. They understand where I'm wanting to go with this. And then more and more people we find really don't have any traditions or any rituals. So really helping them design something that will help them.
Now we have a clip that actually talks a little bit about the ritual and some of the things that you help them with. So why don't we take a look at that?
The road of life is filled with important milestones, major events that help to define who we are and what's important to us. Universal moments like birth, graduation, marriage, and anniversaries bring families together to connect through touching and uplifting ceremonies. But what about end of life? Where does that fit on the list of life's milestones? Meaningful ceremonies and rituals create a transformative life experience. Reflecting and remembering a person's legacy in the presence of gathered community. This is when healing begins.
When I first met him, it was like first attraction. I go, oh, I like this guy. Once we got talking, he became the love of my life. Yeah, miss him. The neat thing for us about the ceremony is because Kenny was such a big part of our lives that we wanted to be involved in all of that too. So we wanted bagpipers. Yeah, we can get bagpipers. We wanted doves. Absolutely, we can get that done. When we had the ceremony, my daughter actually sung, and family got up and read, and so that brought it all into this wonderful life that Kenny had. And then after the ceremony, we all went to the beach and watched the waves come in. I think doing everything that we done, it made us able to go on with our life. After the ceremony, the grief started subsiding and I started healing, and we wouldn't have had that if we hadn't have had the ceremony.
Great information. Obviously, people have been through an awful lot, and you can see the different kinds of ceremonies. One question that came to mind is different languages. Is that a barrier for you at all?
Actually, no, it's not. We have people on our team who speak several different languages: Spanish, Mandarin, Korean, Japanese. So,
wow. Well, that's great. That's good, because we have a variety of different folks who sometimes don't necessarily want to use English. They would like to use their native language. So I think that's awesome that you have that kind of variety. One other thing I want to talk about is the power of presence. You know, how can we come alongside the grieving to support them? I mean, me or any of our family members, and how do you contribute with that?
Well, first and foremost, I forget who said it, but it was just show up. Mm-hmm. Showing up in life, as you know, is, I don't know if it's 99% of presence, but a lot of times people say, what do I say? You don't have to say anything. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Sorry you're going through this moment. But really, I think just presence. When I've experienced death and people shown up to the ceremonies, I'll never forget that. What they said to me, I can't remember. Mm-hmm. But just your presence is powerful.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So even if, like, I've been to some funeral services where I didn't necessarily really know them that well, right, but I felt important to support that person. Mm-hmm. So is that kind of what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. So if your neighbor, who you know relatively well, mm-hmm, say they have a death in their family and you didn't know really the deceased, but to go support your neighbor, mm-hmm, that's very powerful. That speaks volumes. Okay. You know, there's so many milestones in life, as we know, birthdays, holidays, anniversaries, graduations.
Right.
We normally go there with our families, so why wouldn't we go here with our families or our friends or our neighbors?
Yeah, good point. Okay.
When we die, you know, our death really no longer belongs to us. It belongs to our family. So those of us who can come alongside and support our friends, even if we don't know the person who has died, it is meaningful. You know, we're not meant to go this alone. In grieving, we don't mark other milestones in our lives, mm-hmm, in solitary, and really death should be no different.
Exactly. Very good. Thank you. So if anyone wants any information, there's a phone number you can call. It's 949-581-4300, or they can go to the website at o'connormortuary.com. Right?
Great.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
And remember, if you need any assistance in regards to the services that we mentioned, you can always go to o'connormortuary.com. We'll be right back.